that when you mentioned that some of the newer economies are now set to become much bigger than developed economies, change the world order, how do you see that new world order? Where do you see role of India? We're talking about India's century. How do you see India's role in that new world order? And, of course, the entire region, how it's likely to be reshaped in the next couple of decades?
Well, as you know, recently I published a column in the Financial Times saying it's time for the United Kingdom to give up its seat in the permanent seat in the UN Security Council to India. And I, by the way, and that's not a frivolous point. It's a very serious point. I was ambassador to the UN for over 10 years. I know the history and background of the UN extremely well. And when the founders of the UN created the concept of the veto, they wanted to give the veto to the great powers of the day, not the great powers of yesterday, right? That's why Germany and Japan didn't get the veto in 1945. So similarly, after so many years, clearly the time has come to change the composition of the great powers of the day. And there's no question that India is already one of the greatest powers of the day. Its economy is now number 5 in the world. By the end of this decade, it will be number 3. And UK, as you know, is slipping down and will probably drop from the top 10 economies in the world. The UK, as a country, is lost. It's elected as a Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, who's a joker, who was succeeded by Liz Truss, who was a joke. So clearly the UK has lost its capability of playing a role on the world stage, right?
But do you see the United Nations?
India to take UK's place.